All right. Hey, good evening, guys. How are you? Doing well? Yes. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for loving on kids and be willing to give up your already crazy schedules to add one more thing to your week and love on kids. I'm going to open up in prayer, but before we do that, I'll just introduce you to some people. This is Amber. She's our director for Upward Sports. Cliff oversees our football program, and then Elaine over there, she oversees our cheer team. So we just wanted to introduce those faces to you. I'm going to start off in prayer and then share some stuff with you guys. Father, thank you so much for these guys. Thank you so much for this program and what it is. And as we will continue to discuss, that this is a vessel to share your love and your truth with kids. And what an awesome way to do it, to use the medium of sports to have an impact on kids' lives. And so again, Lord, I thank you for their willingness to come and give up time out of their week. But Lord, we want to have the right mindset and the right heart. And so, Lord, we just pray that you'd fill us with your spirit to do that. We pray for all these kids that have signed up and want to come and have an incredible time. And we just pray that they would associate the joy of the game with the joy of you. And so just be with us during this meeting. We pray that you'd lead it and guide it and just have your way with what this program is, and that your will would be done. And we ask that you do these things in Jesus' name. Amen. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt Cassie, and I am a pastor here at Calvary Chapel. Little history on Upward Sports here. Upward was really never for those of you who don't know, was never really an intentional ministry, I should say, here at Calvary. The reason we started is because when COVID came, it shut everything down, even programs for kids. And so what we did is we were like, well, let's offer something for kids. And so we knew that there were some Upward programs in the Tri-Cities. They shut down, so we opened it up. And at the time, and still kind of, we don't really have the facility for it. We don't have the infrastructure for it. We just did it to be faithful. And so here we are, kind of about 3 years in to this, 4 years in. This our third year in. And so we've made some adjustments along the way. I'm sure they'll talk about it. I know football last year was, we made some decisions on how we do it. We're going back to the original way in how we're running football. But again, we were really just doing it to be faithful to kids in the community. And so here we are, still going at it and continuing high. And so I wanted to kind of give you the heart behind what we do, just to kind of tag on to what's going on. I don't know if you guys have seen our new grass, but we got grass. We spent thousands of dollars on a new irrigation system. We tore up the old grass, brought in new dirt, laid down sod, and it's coming real thick. Actually, if anyone walked on it yet, yeah, it feels good. So don't walk in it. Practice in the parking lot. No one's allowed on the no, but we're trying to hit it hard and make it good. So we hope it's good for you guys this year. We did not necessarily do that to this field, but we are working hard on this field. We've redone sprinklers and are aerating and fertilizing it like crazy. So hopefully that will come in as well. Okay, so a little bit about me. I was the varsity coach at Kennewick, soccer for 12 years. I coached there for about 17 years. My whole life was soccer. My whole world was soccer. I played year-round. Had opportunities to go to college and Europe, and I turned it down because I was burnt out. I was burnt out from the game. And it took me about 10 years to get back into it. I've been a youth pastor for 20 years, and so I don't know, I say about 10 years, but it was about 5 or 6 probably, that just out of the blue, I got a coach that called me from Kennewick and say, hey, I got the job at Kennewick, and I'm looking for assistant coaches. Would you be willing to come? And so I did. And I learned a lot of how not to do things under that coach. Great guy. But I've been coaching for about 20 years, and I've learned a lot over the years. I've learned how not to do things. And so I certainly have my particular way of doing things, especially when it comes to soccer. But I'm going to throw something out to you guys. Anyone watch the Women's World Cup this year? Anyone? Yeah. Anyone know who Mia Hamm is? Okay, yeah, right. So she was what, 20 years ago, right? So you guys know who Mia Hamm. Can anyone name a player on the women's national team this year? Anyone heard of Megan Rapinoe? That's Rapinoe, right? Right. So it's interesting. So our women's national team just got kicked out. The earliest stage, they broke a national record, and it was getting kicked out of the World Cup the soonest, right? So their first round into the round 16, they got knocked out. They went 3 games without scoring a goal, and which was another record that they lost. They won the Euro. They lost the Euro Cup. They lost the Olympics. These last year, they just fired their coach. So how do we go from a dominant team in America where we dominated the world in this sport with women's sports, and people know like Mia Hamm. So it's like I'll talk to people who don't follow soccer and they know who Mia Hamm is, right? They know who the women's national team is. Now you ask them now, nobody knows anything, nobody cares. In fact, there's a hatred for the U.S. women's national team right now. So how do you get there? How did it happen? What's that? Christians aren't letting the men play. Oh, you're trying to throw something in there. Well, there's a bunch of reasons that people think that women's sports over the whole country, over the whole world, have caught up to the women's national team, and I think that's partly true. But what I've experienced in the last probably 10 to 15 years, and you may not agree with me, and that's okay, but I've been saturated. I'm sure you guys are saturated in the sports that you're involved in too. But there's been a loss of the love of the game. And so we love the athletes. When you think of basketball, there's the debate. Who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? That's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about marketing. We're talking about the players. We're talking about the money. We're talking about political platforms that the game brings you. And all of a sudden, people are just tired of it, and we forgot to love the game. So when you look at one of the things that causes Americans to fail on the world level, and I've shared this with the soccer players too. One of the things that we see with the little kids, that we will send U13 kids over to Europe and we'll play and we'll beat them at the U13 level. Once we get to the U18 level, they're killing us. And the question is why? And the Europeans have it marked out brilliantly, because what the Europeans do, whether Spain has their system, England has their system, Germany has their system, and what they do is they want their kids running the system, and they don't care if they win or lose. They don't care. They want them running the system. And when you run that system at a young level, you're going to do things that are risky, and you're going to pay for it. And so at the young level, our 13-year-old kids, the Europeans, they'll pass right in front of the goal because they want to, and our kids will intercept it and they'll score, right? And we win. We go to the U18 level, U20 level, and we're getting dominated because they're building it up from the back, and they're comfortable with it. And if you watch Premier League soccer, whatever, you'll have 3 players right in front of their own goal, defenders with their keeper, just doing a triangle, and the forwards just chasing them right in front of their goal. And they're just calm. Boom, 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 boom. And then they work it out. And it's because they don't care about winning at the young level. There's this weird mentality that Americans have, like the whole everyone gets a trophy type of thing, and everyone's like, all, like you play to win and all that kind of stuff, and I get that. But what we're not doing is teaching the kids how to love the game and how to develop. That's the thing that we're not doing at the young level. Do we do that in Upward? No. Why? Because you have 1 day of practice. That's all you get. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I will hear 2 different parties of people that participate in Upward from the parents' perspective. I will have parents that will say, we love Upward. We love the attitude. We love the environment. And it's just clean. And And we just enjoy it. We love the one day of practice. It doesn't consume us. I played soccer. It consumed my life. I'm a youth pastor. I have kids that don't go on mission trips because they play sports. So I like that element, right? So to some parents, Upward is really attractive. To other parents, they're like, it's not developing enough. It's not competitive enough. We want more. We just want more. And so I get that. In my whole world, when I'm in sports, I get it. You're not going to make everyone happy. But I want to just kind of remind you guys as to what it is that we're doing here at Upward. What we're doing here at Upward is it's ministry first. This is not a football program. It's not a cheer program. It's not a sports program. That's not what we do. This is a ministry. Everything we do at Calvary Chapel is ministry based. And we just use things as a vessel to share the gospel with kids. That's what we're doing. And so you guys are ministering to these kids, and you're using this as an opportunity to show them the love of God. Not just in the devotion time, which Amber will talk about, but it's not just in the devotion time. It's in who you are as a man, as a woman, how you carry yourself. These kids see Jesus in you. And that's what we're doing. I coach at the school. I not only coach at the school, but I also teach at the school. And it's something that we have to be mindful of in the school as well. We get so caught up in doing kind of our job that we forget why we're doing this in the first place. And so I'll just kind of do a little side thing. At Calvary Christian School, we have, dress codes. Right? And I get it, right? Dress codes are good. We need dress codes, right? But sometimes I can see adults getting crazy legalistic. Like I'll see kids come into my class, I'm giving a high five, everything's great, and I'll have a teacher come up to me and go, you need to dress code that kid. I'm like, I didn't even notice anything, right? And it's like, if this is not a big deal, why are we making this whole thing a big deal where a kid they don't even want to like Jesus anymore? Because we become so legalistic, right? I get the concept of a dress code, but I want to win these kids for Jesus, right? So I want us to have the mindset of what we're doing is if we have not won these kids for Christ, if they're not closer to Jesus at the end of the year than they were at the beginning of the year, then we failed. We didn't do our job. I want them to see Christ. That's what we're here for. If it's a football program, if it's a cheer program, you can go off and do that anywhere. You get 1 day a week, and you're not going to make incredible football players. You're not going to make incredible cheerleaders out of one practice a week. It's just not going to happen. It's impossible. What we're doing is we're creating an environment for kids, one, to love the sport. Because if they love it, then they can decide if they want to continue and be competitive and all that kind of stuff. I kind of like that. That's kind of how I am anyway. I coach at the school, and if kids are coming and going, I want more than Upward, then I think we've done their job. Just a little side note on the coaching element of that. Anson Dorrance is the winningest college coach in all of college sports. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Anson Dorrance, but he's the winningest coach in all sports. He coaches women's soccer at the University of North Carolina. He moved his practices from 2 hours to 1.5 hours. And people will be thinking, why wouldn't you go more? And the reason that he keeps at 1.5 hours is because when kids get done at 1.5 hours, they're going, why are we done? I want to keep going. As opposed to 2 hours when they go, Coach, it's 2 hours, I think we're done. He wants kids to desire and have a bigger desire and a bigger appetite to want more. So if kids are wanting more, then we've done our job. Does that make sense? So I hope that kind of encourages you from a sports competitive aspect. But the reality is that we have one practice, and we actually did up our older kids for football from 1 hour to 1.5 hours, because I know that you guys want to get it in there. Because there's a lot to learn with plays, and I get all that kind of stuff with football. But our number one goal, I don't even know if there's a particular order to this, but we care that kids love the sport. Are they coming and having? Is it the best 1.5 hours of their life of the week? Is this what they're looking forward to? And football, I get we can kind of be Well, I know even some cheer coaches can even be militant. And I'm not totally against that, but do the kids love coming? Do they love coming? And two, do they take that connection of the love of the game and the love of my coach and the love of my team with the love of Christ? Do they make that connection? And if we've done those two things, then we've done our job. Then we've done our purpose. And so that's my encouragement to you guys. Is that you come away with that. Some things to consider with the devotion. We had, just to kind of tie this in, we had some kids, Amber was just telling me, at the end of the season, she was asking them, so, how were your devotions and things like that? And some kids were saying, oh, we didn't even do our devotions, and I didn't really get anything out of it. And Amber was telling me, Matt, if we're not doing that, then I don't want to be a part of this. Because this is what we're doing. This is the whole point of why we do this. And so I want to encourage you guys, well, not encourage you, as far as practices go, it's mandated to do the devotions. You got to do the devotions during practice, otherwise we're missing the point of what we're doing here. Because this is not a sports program, it's a ministry. Secondly, I want to encourage you guys to kind of make it your own. If you want to send, like if you have a group text, I don't know if you guys have band for your team or if you do group text or whatever, but when you send out that card that has the memory verse on it, every day up until the next practice, if you just want to send out a quick little text to your group, hey, don't forget today's verse, maybe you just copy and paste it. It's as simple as that. Copy and paste and goes, hey guys, don't forget today's verse. This is it. I'll see you guys on Thursday for practice. Tuesday, hey guys, don't forget this week's verse. Here it is. I'll see you guys at Thursday for practice, right? And or throw a little, hey, this is what God's showing me. Like, I don't even care if it's like 10 seconds. But hey guys, I can't wait to see you guys on Thursday for practice. I'm praying for you guys. This is something God showed me today. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Whatever. But something, it takes like 20 seconds out of your day just to send your team just a little encouragement. A verse, a little written devotion or something that encourages them. But the mindset of we are ministering to these kids, that is what we're doing here. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Any comments on that? We good? All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for what you do. I'm going to give it over to Amber and then dip out. All right.
Thank you, Matt. You are good. Okay. So one of the things he was discussing with you was devotion cards. So all the teams will get these. Your coaches will get these. They're your cards per practice, okay? I believe might be 11 of them in here. We only have 8 or 9 practices, okay, is what we're doing in our league. And so if you start on week 1 and go straight through, you'll be in line with what we're doing. Upwards came out with a new thing this year, which I'm going to utilize to try to help with just bringing Jesus more into it, and that is parent devotions that is attached to this. So every Monday, I'm going to post a meme about this on our band group that you can copy and paste and then send to your teams if you want to. And then I'm also going to be sending out every Friday. So during the league, I send out every Friday an email to the parents about the upcoming Saturday game, things they need to know, things that are happening in the week, that sort of thing. And so somehow I'm going to attach that parent sheet to that, whether it's the end of the week, I say, this is what your kids learned about this week, review it with them, or if I'm a week ahead. I haven't decided that yet, but they're going to be getting that parent devotion as well so that they can touch in with their kids and say, hey, what are you learning about? And they are on board with us too. Okay, so you'll be getting those. While I'm going through some of the things you're going to have, another thing you're going to get is the star stickers, okay? I know to us as adults, it's like, oh, it's a sticker. It's not a big deal. Kids look forward to these. And as much as they play it off of like, I don't care if I get a sticker, as a parent, when you hear them say, I didn't even get a sticker, you know they really do care. They're just not going to let anyone else know that they care. Okay? So in there, you have ones that are for practice. So the green ones are like practice. They get a sticker for being at practice. And then the other ones are for different Christ-like attributes. And so it goes over that in the back of your book, in your coach book. And then what's really cool is on the back here, if you rate all of your team players here, you can keep track of which colors you've given them on here so that you can know who has gotten what throughout the season and that you've been giving them out. So try your best to keep these with you, have them at practice, have them at games, be able to encourage the kids that way. They don't have posters or anything to put them on. I know that's been in the past. Those posters are ginormous, and I don't know about you as parents, but where in the world are those kids going to keep those? So football and cheer. Well, the cheer didn't get the megaphones this year either. So football, they like to put them on their flags. Okay, they can put the stickers on their flags. They might get pulled off. They might just have places at home they can keep them. Cheer, they're going to get water bottles. So football and cheer is going to get water bottles. My league order did come in, but they are missing the water bottles, which means they're probably on back order. So I'm waiting for those to come in, but hopefully they will get in here soon. But I wanted to just give you guys a sneak peek, too, of the uniforms. So this is the cheer uniform and the colors. Elaine, this is your daughter's. And they have black pom-poms. For cheer coaches, if you would like pom-poms for, you can use whatever ones you want. If you've coached in the past, you can use those colors. You do not need new ones. I do have some from past seasons that I'd be happy to give to you. But if you want these ones, they're $4 for you guys. I'm going to be sending them a link out to parents also. We sell these as a fundraiser at $8 a piece for parents and family members to be able to buy. But for coaches, it's only $4 for you guys if you want to purchase one from me. So let me know on that. Or if you just want to use past colors that have been donated back in, I'll pass those out to whoever needs a pair. And then for football, we have, these are the flags. Okay, they're pop socket ones. So they snap. They're really nice. They stay on really well. And then their jerseys is the orange and then gray on the other side. So there are those jerseys, so you guys can get an idea about that. Okay, now kind of my job is to go through kind of the logistics of everything for you guys. So I'm just going to start going down some of the admin stuff that I have here. One of them is communication. So for today, you signed in, you got your information, got your coach information. Hopefully you've connected with your assistant coach. If you haven't, let me find each other here and see if they're there and find each other. I can help and exchange information, kind of talk about the plan moving forward and everything. You also need to check over here. I tried to talk to most of you. This will be on band either late tonight or tomorrow. This shows for all coaches, football coaches, second and up. You guys also have some games that you're going to be reffing. Okay, so it's not every Saturday, but it's about, I think there's 3 Saturdays each team has. Because we're a 7-season league, a few of you might have 4, but I put them in this way just on what our schedule is. If something on here doesn't work, you just need to let me know and we'll rearrange, we'll exchange with people, see what we can do to make it happen, okay? So look over this and then let me know as soon as possible if you see something that you know isn't going to work, okay? And then communication with me, the best way to get a hold of me is through email or text. I prefer email just because I don't mind getting text from you at all. You can text me, and that is totally fine. It's just more likely that a text is going to get buried, and I'm not going to get back to you. Like if I open it and I'm in the middle of something, and I don't deal with it right then, it might get forgotten. Whereas if it's in my email, it's not going to get forgotten like it would in a text. Because I'm a mom with 3 kids at home, and I'm trying to do all the things. And so if I open it, and I'm reading it, and then a kid, and then I go do something, and then I get 10 other texts, and that one's already been opened, I try my best. But it's very likely that it might not get back. And so I don't mind, too, if the next day you go, hey, did you get this text? That does not offend me at all, okay? So I will respond as soon as I can, but I'm just saying if it is email, I only sit down to that email usually when I'm at work and I can deal with everything at once, okay? If it is on a Saturday, I know we have band. You can also get a hold of me on band. But if it is on a game day, it needs to be through text because that's the only thing I'm going to see. Because band notifications will be coming up, emails will be coming up. I'm not checking those on game day, but a text I will at least see and I'll open and I'll deal with right away, okay? So that kind of gives you an idea on that. For Matt, Cliff, other coaches, band is probably the best one. Cliff will probably also give you his cell phone. He usually has that at the end, so you can text him as well. But there's band. The one thing about if you have a question about the league and stuff, it's great to put it on band because does everyone understand what I'm saying when I say band? I know I text all of you. I just want to make sure. Okay, because that's how we're going to be communicating from now on. And if you have a question, if you post it on there, it's nice because then everyone sees it and everyone sees the answer to it. Because it's likely if you have it, someone else probably has it too. Or it's also then someone else could also answer it. And if it has to do with like a rule, then you guys can get a conversation started with all the coaches so they can see what's going on. And then Cliff can weigh in what needs to happen with that also. Communication with parents is through the My Upward link that I sent you guys. And I will show you that here on the laptop here. You need to contact your team, all your players, by the 25th of August, please. It is really important that we do that personal phone call, if you can, right away. They got their rosters today, and then they want to hear from a coach this week. And doing that first initial phone call of, it's nice to meet you guys, I'm so excited for practice, tell them about the season, how excited you are, ask them about their kids. And just really, that personal touch is really important, okay? And so I really would love that. Let's see. So for the Upwards app, let me show you that. Really fast here. Okay, so when you get into that link that I had sent you guys, you would have got a text. It would have had you go to My Upwards. It is a website, but you can save it on your phone as if it's like an app to open. If you need help with that, see me after training, and I can show you how to do that so it makes it easier to pop up. Oh, did the TV turn off? Thank you, sir. Oh, but Michael's here for us. So what do I need to do? The remote? What do I need to do? Just on this? Power? Okay. It's coming. I hope. Okay, there we go. So this is what it's going to look like when you get it. Well, that's my director one. Let me change to, it wants my hotspot. Now my internet's not working. Technical difficulties. We will get it going here. Make sure this is up and going. All right, let's try this again. Here we go. Okay. So I am under the Cheetahs. Who's the Cheetahs? John, you're the Cheetahs, aren't you? Yeah, so I'm under your team right now. So when you're in this system, this is what you're going to see initially when you go into it on your phone. Okay, you have your getting started, so prepping for your role in the season. If you click on that, it gives you different videos, information that you can utilize. This is a big one. So team, this shows you who's on your team. Okay, there's a ranking order here. And that ranking order you are going to change before your first game. So that is not ranked by evaluations or anything. I balance the teams as best I can, and then I put them on your team, and then I let you as a coach rank your players. And so for this matrix, you rank them then kind of top to bottom in there, and that's how it helps substitute out. Now, I know football, again, like Matt said, is a different animal than soccer. Soccer can just automatically kind of do this for you. In football, I know you've got kids that want to play quarterback and running back. I don't even know all the positions. There's just so many positions, and kids want to play it all. So you'll learn, for those of you that don't know me, if you have a computer question, if you have a schedule question, an administrative question, any of that, you can come to me and I will answer it. If you have a rule question, a sports question, something specific to it, you can still come to me, but I probably won't have the answer for you, but I will get it for you from either Cliff or Matt or Elaine. Okay? So I do all that admin scheduling portion of it, but I still, after 3 years, don't know the rules of the game. That's what he's for. So, but that's where you can rank them and be able to save that and move them. Right here, this little spot right here, it says team page. that is a really cool link that you can go to this is what I sent out to your teams today. So this shows them their full practice schedule. Well, practice schedule right here in the middle. Their game schedule, what color jerseys they need to be wearing for the games. And then the coach information over here, and then my director information here. Okay, so this gives them all the information they need just from that link. It is helpful probably if you start a group text to put this link at the top of that group text so that parents can always refer back to it, because they got this through an email. So if they lose it in their email or didn't save it, they're going to be asking you for it. So if you just send it out to them as well, that probably would be very helpful to them. Under games, it shows you your games here, and it shows you your practices as well. You go back to home, practice resources. So that book that I gave you is excellent. You can utilize that. You also have it right here on your device. Yes? Your link isn't working? For what I am in? Well, look at that, Josh. It's not just you. Okay, so Upward is taking care of that for me. I will email them tonight. Josh sent that to me earlier today, saying that it was doing that to him, and it was showing in my system something weird, and it wasn't working. So I called Upwards, and they were supposed to be fixing it for him, so they might be doing something with our league right now because it wasn't working. So the actual headquarters is working on that for us, and I will send out an answer tomorrow because they didn't get back to me today. So that means I'll hear from them tomorrow, or I'll call them tomorrow, and we'll get that fixed. So that's why that's not working. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know so that I could let them know. So practice plans. Your practice plans are here. Your devotionals, skills and drills, rules, all that is right here at your fingertips. And then communication. This is where you can go in. You can send an email. As you scan down, you can see all the email, the parents. You can click on who you want it to go to, who you don't want it to go to. This is SMS, is a text message. I do know I've heard from the past that coaches don't love how the text message works for some reason. Like when it goes out, it doesn't send the exact way, so they copy and paste the phone numbers into their own text message and create a group text. So you might find if that's the case, that might be easier for you to just take those phone numbers and put them into a group text yourself. And then game day here, you have game day. So you can click on game 1. If you're starting on offense or defense, it's going to tell you which one, and then it's going to give you a lineup to put in for your offense, your defense. As you click through, you can actually take, if you delete players, so this will delete a player, but then if they show up later, you can reactivate them and get them into the lineup, so you can do all of that here. I know several coaches that like to run their own layout of their roster. You just need to make sure we've got the equal playing time in there. That's the one thing about this, is it goes through. It's not, as Matt said, for winning or skills and all that. We are trying to balance it out to let all the kids get to play and get to try all the different positions. Okay? All right, questions about how this whole system works? Oh, and you feel free to email me or text me if things come up with it. That is not a problem at all, and I will try to help you work through that. Okay, so past that, let's see. We talked about stickers. If you need a sub, start first, obviously, with your assistant coach. They are going to be the ones that would step up and be able to coach if you head coaches you needed a sub. If you have an assistant coach that is under 18, we do have to have someone that's 18 or older as the coach. That assistant is absolutely welcome to run the practice, but we have to have a parent that is considered the in charge, kind of there, over 18. So just let me know if that's the case. If your assistant coach can't, or even you want 2 coaches, obviously, you would reach out to parents, start with them, see, is anyone willing to help the assistant coach this week, right? And then if you're having trouble finding someone, you let me know, and then I will help find you an assistant for that week or coverage for that week, okay? If you do change a practice, if your coach is going to be gone, if you decide to cancel, any of that thing, I need to know right away also, because if I start getting emails from parents or parents show up because they didn't get information, I need to know what's going on. So just shoot me a text or an email as well so that I'm aware of that. When it comes to weather, We leave that up a lot to coaches. There are sometimes if it's like we know for sure we're going to cancel the whole entire day of practice, whether it's rain, lightning, things like that, then Cliff and I, one of us will let you know, and I can send that out as a system-wide thing. But if you as a coach, let's say you have K-5 in first grade, the weather's bad, it's windy, it's terrible, and sure, the 4th through 6th graders can handle it, but you're like, kindergarten and first graders, this is not going to work. You as a coach get to determine that and make that choice, and can cancel with your team, and then let me know, and then we can look at possibly rescheduling you a different time in the week, where you would end up sharing a field with the team, but you still have enough room to be able to run drills and things like that. Okay, so there is some flexibility in being able to do that if we need to. Really, when it comes to canceling for us in the league, or if you're out on the field, any lightning, everyone has to get off the field. If you see lightning, it's just a safety issue. Everyone's got to go. Okay? Rain and wind, you can kind of determine that on how much you want to push the kids, right? As long as there's no lightning. And then when it comes to smoke, if it's really bad, I feel like there's maybe one day last season that we canceled. I can't remember for sure. But I will watch, basically, if school can't go outside, I watch the numbers of what it's rated, and if it gets to the unhealthy level or whatever, where no one should be outside, then we cancel. If it's just for sensitive groups, we might not cancel because school can go. So we kind of follow that same aspect. But if you as a coach decide different, then we can look at that also. Questions about subs or canceling practice or anything like that? Nope. Okay. Logistics of the game. So we have our fields. Over by our sanctuary, there's a large field, what Matt was talking about. The new one we just resodded and is beautiful. That is field 1. And then field 2 is over by our baseball field. It's not really baseball field, but baseball backstop, I guess you would call it. That is considered field 2. I don't have a map for you right now, but I will be sending a map out to parents and to you guys before the first practice. For those that are cheering on field 1, you are going to be on the far side closer to the parking lot, and you're going to be down on the left-hand side. Nope, that's where the party is. You are going to be probably the right-hand side. I'm going to get back to you on that because now there's a playground in the port. We're going to talk about that. But field 2, I know for sure you will be on the end that is closest to the fire lane. And so there'll be a box put out for you there that the cheerleaders will be in, okay? Kindergarten and first grade have 10 players per team. You are not full right now. So I do still have openings. Many of you have 8 or 9 players. We are playing in kindergarten, if I remember right, Matt said 5v5. Is that right? So we're doing 5v5 in kindergarten. And then coaches, you are responsible for reffing your own game. So you're out there helping and assisting the kids and really teaching them through the whole game, okay? And then 2nd through 3rd grade, you have 10 players. You are also playing 5-on-5, or are they doing 7-7? You get to make that decision. They've got 10 players, and they are full. So we could do 7-7, yep. Or even 6-6, maybe 5-7. 7-7. Okay, 7-7. And then you guys will have refs, and so that's that schedule I was talking about, okay? You guys are reffing. The other coaches in that league will be helping ref your games. And then 4th through 6th, you have anywhere from 11 to 13 players. I do have like a couple spots open, so if you know anyone that's still interested in that age group, let me know. Have them get a hold of me. But you will also have refs for that. Practices, cheer, you are in the courtyard area. So that is up in front of our office. There's some picnic tables, different things. There's construction going on, but there is a grassy area opening that you will find that's where you're going to be practicing. And then K1 and 2nd and 3rd grade, you're practicing on field 2, and you will have Pee Wee balls is the size that you use, and you'll have one bag that will have 12 balls in it. So that's enough for every player to have a ball plus each coach to have a ball. So it's really important at the end of practice that you make sure all 12 of those balls get back into that bag, because those are the 12 balls we have for the season, okay? You leave that bag there for the next team. The next team comes, they practice with it, then they put it away in the trailer, okay? And then 4th through 6th grade, you guys have an hour and a half practice. Yours starts at 5, goes to 6:30. You are on field 1 that's right out in front of the sanctuary. You will have a bag of balls that are junior size, and you will have 16 of them. That is because we were up to 14 players per team, and then 2 for each coach. So you'll have 16 balls in that bag that you need to keep track of. I would encourage you to also keep all of your team's flags together, and you be responsible for bringing them, because you're going to have kids show up without them. That is up to you, but it is helpful for you to have kids all have their flags. We do have extras from last season that Cliff will have at the announcement stand if we need to give them to players. So equipment. So we have over here by field 2, there's a fenced-in area, and there's a green trailer in there. That's where you're going to find all your equipment. So the first, any team that has a 4:30 practice, so I can actually tell you who that is. So Mondays, Jonathan and Jeff Short are our first Monday practice at 4:30. So you guys will be coming and getting the key from the secretary in the office to go open. There's a lock to open the gate and the lock open the trailer, and then taking the key back to her and then leaving it all open. And then our last practice, which is, I'm going to just probably say everyone who's all the 4th through 6th grade coaches. So on Mondays, that's Josh, Bonell, and Corey. You guys are responsible for making sure that all the equipment gets put back into the trailer and everything gets locked up on Monday nights, okay? And then on Tuesdays, our 4:30 practice is Zach Lamberson and Josh Taylor and Blake Rowley. So you guys will be in charge of opening the trailer on Tuesdays. And then Tuesday, Robert and Kristen are responsible for making sure it gets locked up and so forth. So then Thursdays, Nick and Zoe are 4:30 practice. So you guys are responsible for opening it up. And Jeff and Eddie are responsible for closing it up. And then on Fridays, Abel and Zach, you guys are responsible for opening it. And then Chuck and Seth are responsible for closing it up and making sure all the equipment's in it. Okay? So that's kind of how that will work for you guys as far as getting in and out of that trailer. There are 8 pylons per field for each end zone. So you can pull those out to play for practice, or you can leave them in, but those will be up for games. And then cheer, you guys have little rubber circles that you can do for placing, okay? So they're like rainbow colored. You'll have a bag of those in there that you can get out and then make sure they go back in. And you can see, so on Tuesdays, Elaine, you're at 4:30, and Cora, you're at 5:30. So you guys, Elaine, you would just give it to Cora. Cora, you would make sure that it got put away. And then Mondays, you guys, Bernadette, you are the only ones there, so you can get it out, put it away. And then Tuesdays, Elaine, you're the only ones. And then Fridays, Carla, you guys are the only ones. So it's just get it out and then put it away sort of thing if you want to utilize those. And they are very helpful, especially with the youngers. Like, here's your special dot. You can stay there. Let's see here. Set up and clean up. So on this schedule that was over here, you will see for setup in the mornings, kindergarten and first grade, since you guys aren't reffing a separate game, you guys are scheduled for being able to show up early to help Cliff set up, okay? So like on the first Saturday, your game's at 9:15, but you, Jonathan and Jeff, are scheduled to show up at 8:15 to help Cliff set up both the fields and get all the sound equipment ready and everything. So the 3 of you guys would be the ones that would be setting that up. And then you'll see each week there's a different team. There's a few that doubled and on there as well, okay? So again, if there's any of those times that you can't do, please let me know right away so that we can get that filled up with someone else to be able to help. Cliff is the game day commissioner, so he will be there at the announcement stand. He'll be doing the announcements of all the things. If you need something, he's the one that you're going to go to for that. And you will see me around some. My son is playing, so I will be around for some of the games. And I don't mind you coming and talking to me, but he's the one in charge on Saturdays, so he's your guy. Structure of the game. So line up to run through the tunnel. So one thing that we do really fun here at Upwards is we have a huge blow-up tunnel, and the kids get to run through it and get their name announced, and all the parents get to give them high fives, and they think it's the best thing in the world. Okay, so over by our sanctuary, in that courtyard, you will have signs. I'll have signs lined out. Field 1, home team. Field 1, visitor. Cheer team. Field 2, home team. Field 3, Field 2, visitor team. There we go. And so you'll line your team up behind those signs, and then he will be calling you through and going through. When I give you your team box, or when you pick it up from the office is what will happen. As soon as I have it all put together, I'll send that out on band, and you guys will be able to come pick it up at the office. Everything will be enclosed in there for you. You will have a paper that has your whole team roster in the order that they're going to be called for the whole season, okay? Is it important they're in that order? Not really, but it is fun for the kids if they want. When he starts calling the names, he's just calling first names, and it's not like he's waiting for people to run. He's just going to call down it, and your whole team is running through, okay? So we want to make that move very smooth and quickly. The cheerleaders, what you guys are going to do, and if I remember correctly, I left that over there again. Let me look here. I think our only time, nope, there are 2 times. Okay, so, but there's never 2 cheer teams on a field. So whatever field you're cheering for, you are going to go up before they're called through and line up under the pergola. So there's a pergola up there where the tunnel will be, and your cheerleaders are going to be cheering for the team that's running through, yelling, kicking, doing all the things as they run through, and then your cheer team will be called through for that field as well, okay? So, and we'll help you all in that first week just so you guys see how the structure is for those that haven't been here with us before. And so they'll get announced through the tunnel, kids will run through. The other thing that's really important when I send that map out and for you guys to help us with is we ask that all parents and spectators stay on one side of the field and all teams stay on the other side of the field, okay? And so I will be putting that on the map so that they know, and then I just ask that you as coaches help reinforce that and as refs help reinforce that, okay? So on the field 2, the teams are always on the further side, and then the parents are always by the playground so that the siblings can be playing and we're not having the back and forth. But you'll have some parents try to sit behind the teams on the other side, and that just is a headache for you guys as a coach when you're trying to keep the kids' attention. And just a safety thing, we want them on the other side. And then over here on field 1, you guys are the closest to the church, and they are the closest to the parking lot, okay? We already talked about game structure. Cliff's going to talk about that, about timing of games and all that, right? Or do you want me to go over that? I'm on a roll. Are you writing all this down? I got to talk. So each game is 4 9-minute quarters, okay? And you have 1 8-minute halftime, which is a total of 44 minutes altogether. And then there's 1 30-second timeout per half, okay? So I have given an hour and 15 minutes between each game, okay? So 44 minutes per game. If we get started on time, that tunnel run through probably takes at most 8 minutes. If we get them all through, you get out to the middle of the field. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to pray. Everyone circles up in the middle of the field, and we all pray. The refs lead that prayer. So for kindergarten and first grade, it'll be the coaches that lead that, pull everyone together with the cheerleaders and everyone out there, and we pray before the game, and then you get started, and then there should be a small gap of time as we transition between games, but we like to keep things efficient as much as we can to not be here all day, and so you have an hour and 15 minutes between each game, and the game itself is only 44 minutes, okay? Cheer teams, you get the halftime to perform, and Elaine's going to talk to you more about what you can perform at that time, but you get to take your girls out there, show off skills, show off verses that they're memorizing, show off dances. She'll talk to you more about what that is for you guys. And then we already talked about the stickers and the devotionals, and just I can't stress enough how much that is such an important part of our program. And when that is left out, it's just leaving out that importance for the kids. And they really do desire that and want that, okay? So really, really, I just wanted, as I was talking to Matt, our focus this year to really be on connection, connecting with your players, connecting with the families, ministering to them, reaching out. Like he said, reach out with text, reach out. When he was saying, he didn't say it, but when he's like, a 10-second something, like do a video clip. He's very big on video clips, record yourself. Hey guys, just thinking about you. It's good I can't wait to see you at practice, and here's your verse, remember. All right, see you soon, and send that out so the parents can show the kids. What kid wouldn't love getting a text from their coach like, oh my goodness, that's so cool, and that just makes that connection. And I really want to focus on that connection this year. So team boxes, I will send out detailed information on band with everything. I kind of showed you what's in them, but I usually take pictures so you can see everything. Each kid has their own individual box that you just hand them the box. Each coach will have a box. And then the most important thing is these need to be picked up before your first practice, and your whole team needs to try them on your first practice, and I need to know right away if there's any exchanges that need to happen. I need to know by September... thought I wrote it down in here. September 11th is when, September 8th. September 8th, that's that Friday of the first week. That night, so I have Friday practices. I need to know after your practice what it is because I'm going to place an order that night. And we're going to pray that it gets to us by the following Friday. What I try to do is exchange within the league. That's the best thing. And I just pray that we don't have many that we have to order in. And so all the jerseys that need exchanges, I also need to the office by September 11th. So I need them by Monday, whether it's the parents drop them off or you collect them as a coach and bring them to me on Monday. I need them to be able to reprocess them for other kids and know that I have them available for Saturday. Anyone who needs a jersey exchange, I'll be talking to the parents, but it will most likely be that Saturday game, they pick it up before the game. Okay, they're not going to get it before that. It will be on Saturday that they can go to Cliff and be able to pick that up. Okay? Please encourage parents to only exchange if there really is a big issue. Like if it's like, oh, he doesn't like really how it feels, but you look and it's like it fits. We want everyone to be comfortable. So if they really need to do it, that's fine. But I just try not to do as much of not exchanging as much as possible is kind of what it is, just to make it easier in that aspect. And then all I have for you is important dates. So August 25th, you need to contact all your players by then, like we talked about. September 1st is when most of you are all done now. I had sent out emails for who I still needed background checks for, who I needed ministry safe training done from, and who needs to be connected to band. Band you should get on right now because, like I said, everything's going through band now. All communication will be through there. So make sure you got your notifications turned on, things like that. And then anyone who hasn't done the background at Ministry Safe, please get that done ASAP, or you'll be hearing from me again soon. So September 4th is when the season starts. So I already know cheer has rescheduled. That is a holiday. So it's up to you whether you want to run it, if you want to talk to your families. But that's also the Cheetahs, the Cobras, and the Knights. If you are looking at wanting to reschedule that somehow this week, please let me know right away so that we can look at how we can make that happen since it is a holiday. But many people are back by the evening that night, so they might be fine with starting and being good with it. But let me know. First game day is September 16th, and then games are every Saturday until the end of October. So October 28th is our last one. Ladies, September 16th is Calvary's Women's Retreat. So I need to know if you're going to be gone, if you need someone to coach for you, if you can't find someone to coach. That first game, it's kind of hard to have a parent fill in for you. So if you need someone else, just let me know, and we can figure that out for you to get you coverage. And then September 30th is Team Picture Day. I do have that schedule over there. What you will do is you will get a packet the second game. So the game before picture day, you're going to get a packet that Saturday from Cliff or myself, and it will have all the information for parents that you can pass out to them, and then they will bring back with them the next Saturday for picture day. Pictures are down at the amphitheater on our campus, and so I'll have signs out and where to go down there with everything. Our photographer will be down there, and he has extra forms as well, so if your parents forget their form, it just helps things run smoother if they have it filled out and their money ready when they get down there, but he will have extra forms if not. So, and I will send out information to parents and post on Band that for you as well. And then the 28th is our last day and end of season award ceremony. I don't have an exact time yet for that, but what it is we do an end of season ceremony where people come back, we do some testimonies, we have some videos, we have a fun time with them, and then we get to give out an end of season award. I will have that provided to you guys as coaches to be able to give to your kids. I don't quite yet know exactly what it is. I've kind of geared away from the bags and the balls and all the things that we've gotten in the past, and I'm looking more towards last soccer season. We did Bibles for age groups, and this season I'm looking at devotionals for different age groups. Since we did the Bibles for soccer, we'll do a devotional because we do have families that go to both of our seasons. So I'm working with our gal who runs our bookstore here, and she's going to find us some really good devotionals to be able to hand out to the kids. And picture day is the 30th, September 30th. So the third game day is when picture day is. I can tell you right now, our photographer is going to want color orange. So orange is going to be the color that you show up for in pictures. And then if you are gray, you can change that after pictures. I do know that many teams, you show up way before your game. You can decide what you want to do during that time. If parents go and then come back, whatever it is. But for us to be able to fit everyone and utilize our photographer, that's just how we make it work. And it's worked pretty well so far. So, yeah. Any questions on my aspect of it? I was 2 minutes over. Matt talked a lot longer than what I wanted to. Yes. 7-7. Yep, 7-7. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
So once the parking lot's done, do you really see any problems with construction?
I don't know that for sure, but I don't think so because school starts. So we're starting the same week as school, and with school having over 500 and something kids that have to be dropped off, I don't feel like it's going to be too much for us with our small things. So I'm hoping that's not going to be an issue. If it is, I'll be communicating that to the parents, but it's supposed to all be done. That's why we didn't get a start next Monday, because our initial start date was August 28th. I think if that's right, it's next Monday. But because of construction in the parking lot and the mess that's up there, we couldn't do that. So we had to start when school starts, knowing that everything has to be done by the time school starts, or we really got a problem. So, yeah. No, but I will make sure the trailer's open for you. Thank you. Because it would be you and Jeff opening it. Yeah. I'll work with you on that and make sure that you. Yeah. Yep, for sure. Anyone else? Cliff is going to be going over football stuff with you now, so all the football coaches get to stay here. And then I will take Elaine and the cheer coaches up to the room that you guys are going to be at and get you guys set up there so that you can kind of go over the two separate things as long as there aren't any other questions. Think we're good so far? Okay. And everyone's got my contact information, whether it's band or email or cell. If you don't have my cell and you feel like you need it, just let me know. I can get that to you. I think I've texted most of you, though, for coach shirts and stuff like that. So